Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. I'm seriously about to say Days of Our Lives fans. So, wow. Let's start with Maxie and Brando because I'm just sitting there looking at this scene like, what did I just watch? You got Maxie asking Brando 20 questions. Literally, she is literally sitting there asking this man 20 something questions. Well, like why are you so Sam so cool? Because Sam came in to the shop and offered to help clean up. Now, given the way that Sam was dressed, I'm just like, and you was planning on cleaning and that, why? Not gonna lie, didn't really make a lot of sense. But you know what? Even with my nitpicking, Sam is actually being a decent human being to Brando. And if you've been watching my reviews from before, you know how much, well, she just pretty much was on my shit list. Let's just be honest. But since then, she's actually been pretty cool and pretty nice to Brando. And on her way of walking out, Maxie walks in. And, Brando's like, Sam is like, alright, well, if you need anything, let me know. And she walks out. And then Maxie's all like, so when are you and Sam cool? I mean, Sam is just not cool with anyone. I mean, I want to know what's going on. It's like, what in the hell is going on? And by the way, Brando really needs to keep his story straight. Because one of the annoying questions that Maxie was asking was like, do you have any kids? And Brando's like, no. And then Maxie's like, you sure about that? And Brando's like, oh yeah, I have a teenager. Maxie's like, you just forgot about that 5 seconds because why? And granted, not that long ago, Dev slipped up when he was talking about movies or whatever from his country. And Jonathan was like, I'm sorry, from where again? So those two need to get their story straight. And I'm just going to leave this open. Correct me if I'm wrong, but what was going on at Dev's story? Because at one point, he was supposed to be going away for a little bit, like going away to some upstate school, and then they decided to have him stay there, and I remember that just now, and like, I felt like they had no idea what to do with Dev at one point. Anyway, yeah, so pretty much Maxie just spent the entire time asking Brando a bunch of damn questions that was none of her damn business. So, awesome. Now, let's talk about names just escaped me. Valentine and Alexis, because Valentine was actually being nice. Not to sit there and say he doesn't have his nice moments, but he literally came in to talk to Alexis just to find out how she was doing, just being a good friend, and, just sitting there saying, hey, listen, I'm just paying it back when you were cool to me, pretty much. So they're talking and everything like that, and, Sam comes in, and she sees a cast on, Alexis' arm. So she just flies off the handle for this unknown reason, and it's like, what did you do to my mother? And I'm like, what? Now, this scene, I gotta be honest, makes no sense. So she walks in there and gets upset with Valentine, talking about, well, what did you do to my mother? Why is she in the cast? And I'm sitting there thinking, that cast, whatever he did to her, it was already done, like, a while ago. Like, that cast is, like, practically brand new. So, what? So anyway, after Alexis talks some sense into her, Sam starts berating her about, like, why didn't you call me, da-da-da-da-this, da-da-da-da, and just grilling her to the point where Alexis is just like, listen, I have a lot of stuff going on. I have a guy that just died on me. I lost my job. I just found out that I have osteoporosis. Like, could you give me a minute to just breathe for a minute? And I feel like that's something that a lot of people are doing, unfortunately. You know, you have Molly that's just hovering. You have Sam that's just all in her face. And I can't even imagine Christina because, well, one, she's not actually there on the show yet. And two, she's probably doing the same thing. So, which, by the way, on a side note, I hope that the actress actually comes back and is not played by that person that was playing her at one point that no one liked. And to be fair, no one liked the actress and no one liked Christina at that point. I think it was something about Mob Princesses when she came back and she was threatening them if they didn't do the show, then she was going to run off and she was going to be gone. But anyway, all I'm saying is that I hope they actually get the actress to come back and play Christina because, yeah, they don't really have a lot of good luck as far as sometimes trying to get other people to fill certain roles. So anyway, Valentine talks a little bit more. And he says something to kind of like set her straight, like as far as like buying box and stuff like that. And then Sam, and we were doing so good, and I'm probably just going to let this slide, says something along the lines of, well, don't sit there and tell her, you know, how to handle a woman's disease or something like that. And I was like, okay, sweetheart, we really didn't need to get into like gender and sex or anything like that. You can calm down with whatever that is. But then Alexis pretty much just sends her away. And, well, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of happy about that. Because I was like, Sam, we were doing good. We really were. And then you started to, show that side that I really didn't like. But then Alexis was like, you know, listen, I'm gonna go to his memorial just to get some closure. So, yeah. See what happens with that. Now, let's talk about Liz and Lulu. Because they, you know, this scene was kind of perfect because they both come across as some really judgmental women that constantly looks at other people, like looks down upon the other people like their stuff doesn't stink. You know, just talking about Nicholas and how much of a bad decisions he's making and this, that, and the third. I'm like, wow. You two kind of sound like terrible people. Not gonna lie. Both of y'all do. So then Nicholas comes in and Liz just acts like a word that I'm not gonna use. And then she walks off. And then Lulu, you know, starts in with the judgmental, like, oh, you should get rid of her because, you know, it's going to corrupt your soul, this, that, and the third. And then Nicholas starts talking about Ava and different light, and Lulu's like, so are you, like, falling for her or something like that? Now, right around this time, ironically, for some odd reason, I don't think that's the best word to use, both Ava and Nicholas both get a text from when they kiss Liz and Franco. So I don't know what that's about, but hopefully we'll kind of get to that point at some point. Like, who's this person? Who's this mysterious person that's taking pictures of Liz and Nicholas and Franco and Ava? And yeah, Ava was there just talking about the same thing with Nina, as far as you know, getting close with Nicholas. But also, she literally said she kissed Franco, and talking about it was a mistake or whatever. And then, you know, of course, she got that mysterious picture too. So don't know what that means. I mean, I know it means something, but it's just one of those things where it's like, I hope it just doesn't take that long to kind of figure out this whole thing. And speaking about, you know what? I kind of got to bring this up because it's in my notes. And I'm like, oh yeah, those two were there. So, TJ and Molly were there for like, I don't know, 5 minutes. And I'm again, I gotta sit there and wonder about the direction of this show. So, they're there, and they're talking about, I don't know, whatever stupid ceremony that they're gonna be doing. I have issues with Molly and her whole, I don't want to get married because it's patriarchy, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, sweetheart, whatever, just, And so they're talking about people to bring and stuff like that, and I think TJ made a comment about her being, mysterious or deceptive or something. And of course, they bring her back to those flashbacks of, Molly hooking up with Brando and still not telling TJ for this dumb, ridiculous reason. I have to tell you the truth, I'm not gonna lie. Their whole scenes just wasn't needed. It really wasn't needed because when you see the previews, it shows and Stella being there when they're more actually needed. So them being there was just literally a waste of time. And that's why I'm probably talking about it like that, because I'm just like, yeah, it happened, but it really didn't matter. More important, it was actually on Cam and Trina and Jocelyn, which came in 46 minutes later. And I was just like, what is going on with this episode? Seriously, why would you just put her in there 40-something minutes later on anyway? Like, what was the point of that? But, Cam came to Franco to ask him advice about girls and stuff like that, and pretty much who to choose. And Franco was like, you know what, I'm not gonna lie, I really can't help you out in this one. And I'm also kind of just like, well, thanks, Franco. Thanks for, like, nothing at this point other than offering this guy a tuxedo. Which, by the way, he had to get from Nina. So, I guess it's good to have friends in high places. Anyway, at this point, Cam is just, like, torn because I guess, like, he likes Jocelyn and he doesn't like Trina, but then he starts thinking about Trina like he likes her, and I'm not gonna lie, it's one, it just seems very Disney-like channel, which I'm just not a fan of it. And two, I get it, he's a teenager, so I guess it kind of makes sense with the whole confusion thing, but I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Your whole thing was, I want to be with Jocelyn, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay, cool. And you kind of seen Trina for a while as like, alright, at one point I felt like he kept kind of like pushing Trina away. And now because of this whole thing that they experienced, now, he's all like, well, do I like Trina? I mean, she's nice and she's pretty and stuff like that. And I'm just like, dude, just pick someone, because pretty much what it comes down to is Cam is like, listen, no matter who I choose, I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings. And I'm either just going to get rejected and I'm going to blow whatever relationship that I have with this person. But then I don't want to get caught in the friend zone. So what should I do? And something's in my eye for some reason, but I'm not going to sit there and redo this. So anyway, long story short, they all get together. Well, the three of them get together. You have Cam, Trina, and Jocelyn, which just showed up late to the party for some odd reason. And, here's the thing. So, there's one scene where you got Cam and Trina talking. And Cam does this thing that, I'm not gonna lie, I've done before. Where I kind of talk around my feelings for a little bit to kind of like build up momentum to what I'm gonna say. And of course, Trina's just right to the point, like, all right, just spit it out. What is it? So when Cam is about to sit there and say something, Jocelyn comes in. 40-something minutes later, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I guess he just kind of put that on pause, and I don't know what's going to go on with this whole dance or whatever, but I'm only kind of interested at this point because I want to see it get to a close. And I feel like that is... Oh, one other thing that happened, and I guess this is making the review a lot longer, so apologies if this review is a lot longer. Let's talk about Dante for a minute, because I almost forgot about him, because I don't know. So Dante is talking to the doctor, and the doctor does this, I don't know, what do you want to call it? I felt like he was just playing games, like psych. Literally, because he comes in, he's like, hey, so listen, about that assignment of you going back, yeah, they don't really feel like it's necessary. I just don't feel like you're ready yet. And then Dante loses it a little bit. He starts, like, hitting the wall, and I'm sitting there thinking, at this point, I was like, dude, are you serious? You wanted him to go back to Port Charles, and now you're playing games? What's the point of this? And, then when he walks away, because I guess he felt like the whole point of the stupid test was to see was he going to hurt the doctor or not, and he passes, and the doctor's like, oh well, you know, you passed the test, which is why you're going, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? So this is why I kind of just looked at this whole episode like, ugh. What is going on in this episode? You got Dr. Smith there playing mind games. You got Maxie Smith asking 20 questions. You got characters that are in it for no reason, like TJ and Molly. And I'm sitting there thinking, what is this episode even about? Honestly, to tell you the truth, the only thing that I actually really liked about this episode was Valentine and Alexis, because it was just genuine. It was nice. It was just a very simplistic scene that made sense. Anyway, Dante is going to be heading back home at some point, and I feel like, I'm not going to lie, this is turning into Patient 6 all over again. And now something's happened to my eye. When they took so long for Jason to actually come back. 1 second. Yes, this is turning into Patient 6, right? Where they took so long for Jason to come back. You know, it was like 2 weeks of him being there, a week of him, you know, trying to plot his escape, and then the next week of him coming back. This is literally Patient 6 all over again, except for this time it's with Dante, and I'm just like, ugh, really? We're doing this again? Christ. So, yeah, I guess at some point he's going to be going back to Port Charles. I feel like I'm going to get some more... I feel like my hair is going to be gray by the time he actually comes back to Port Charles. Whatever. At some point, I guess he's coming back. And it will be exciting when he does come back. But they are going to slow burn the hell out of it. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of not looking forward to that, because Patience is just... But anyway, that's gonna do it for this review of Jade. Sorry it came out so late, but yeah, I kind of had to do some shopping for my dad. After I did my other review, and it took a little bit longer than I thought. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe. And as I said in my other review, I'm going to be off tomorrow, so hopefully this review comes out a lot more on time than normal. But let me know what you think of all of this, because, yeah.